Hello everyone, today my name is Brian Reyes and today I'll be talking about the Fair Information Practice Principles known as FIPS. The objectives of this presentation is to describe your understanding of the FIPS, including transparency, individual participation, purpose specification, data minimization, use limitation, data quality and integrity, security, accountability, and auditing. Explain how FIPS is compared to other privacy policies, laws, and regulations. Describe how FIPS can be useful in protecting personal identifiable information and how federal agencies can put each of the principles to use. Understanding of FIPS. The Fair Information Practice Principles is a guideline of principles on how to handle personal identifiable information. FIPS is a framework that is used when implementing privacy laws, regulations, and policies when designing privacy protection. FIPS is made up of 8 principles that are transparency, individual participation, purpose specification, data minimization, use limitation, data quality and integrity, security, and accountability. Next slide. Explain how FIPS is compared to other privacy policies, laws, and regulations. The difference between FIPS and other privacy laws like GDPR and CCPA is that FIPS is not part of any official or legal law. However, FIPS has been the baseline for many of these privacy laws. In CCPA, individual participation is included in the law by the right to know basis. In GDPR, individual participation is included in the law by the right to erasure. These privacy framework laws do not exactly match what is written in FIPS, but if organizations want to follow the law, they need to follow the CCPA or GDPR says that not only comply with FIPS. Next slide. Explain how FIPS compare to other privacy laws and regulations. FIPS framework has been the basis of many known laws in the United States that include Fair Credit Reporting Act, Right to Private Financial Privacy Act, Electronic Communications Privacy Act, Video Privacy Protection Act, Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Next slide. Describe how FIPS can be useful in the protecting personally identifiable information and how a federal agency can put each of the principles to use. FIPS is very useful in protecting PII information by following the 8 principles in its framework. Federal agencies and organizations need to be transparent to its customers by providing a clear understanding of how their PII is collected, used, stored, and shared so they can have a clear understanding of how their data is being processed. Federal agencies and organizations need to ensure that they implemented the proper security measures to prevent any unauthorized user to have access to PII data. How a federal agency can put each of the principles to use. On the first of the principles is transparency. Federal agencies can use transparency to provide clear and understanding privacy notices to inform its customers about the agency's data collection, use, storage, and how it's shared. Next is individual participation. Federal agencies can have an easy process for customers to access their PII data held by the agency so it's easy for them to make any changes to their information. Next one is purpose specification. Agencies need to clearly explain the purpose of collecting PII by each of the federal agency. The next one is data minimization. Only collect PII information for specific purposes and regularly review data retention policies to ensure that PII is not stored longer than it needs by the agency. How a federal agency can put each of the principles to use. On the next one, the principles is use limitation. Federal agencies need to ensure PII is only used for specific reasons listed in the consent or privacy information. Next one is data quality and integrity. Federal agencies need to provide a clear and easy structure for customers to review their PII so the data is up to date. The next one is federal agencies, they all need to implement proper security measures to prevent any unauthorized user from gaining access to PII and to be able to conduct regular security assessments and audits to identify any vulnerabilities that can affect PII data in their information systems. Last, it will be accountability. Each of the federal agencies need to have a dedicated individual overseeing the policies and procedures to ensure that the agency is in compliance with the law and regulations and enforces employees training on how to handle PII data. Last slide, this is my references where I got all my information, and this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.